Good morning, everyone. Myself, Muralidhara Reddy. In this video, we are going to discussing about how to set up the Linux slave node in Jenkins. Okay, we have two things, right? Master node and slave node, right? In slave node, we can set up both Linux and Windows. In this session, we are going to discussing about how to set up the Linux slave node. Okay, let's see the demo. For that one, I have created two servers: Linux node 1, node 2. Okay, we can set up both for slave nodes. Okay. And I have logged into the particular server. Okay, go to the manage Jenkins, manage nodes. Okay, if you see here, it is built-in node, right? Built-in node means it is a master node. What is the space you can able to see here? But we are going to create our slave node. How can create? In left side, if you see new node, click this one. Here you can give the node name. Example, I'm giving Linux slave node 1. Okay, then you can select this permanent agent, create. Now here, if you want to give any description, you can give it here. And here, number of executors. Remember, number of executors is nothing but, for example, you are running the 3 jobs. Okay, if you run that particular job in this particular node, okay, here we kept number of executors 1 default, right? It means at a time 1 job only will be run, remaining 2 jobs will be on queue. Once the particular job is completed, next job will be run. Okay, that is the usage of number of executors. If you want, you can increase also. By default, it is 1, you can keep it same. And coming to the root directory, where your workspace, I mean, where you want to store your job workspace in slave node. Okay, we have to give that one. Currently, we are going to set up for Maven, Linux server, right? So that is the reason I'm giving OPT. Inside the OPT, workspace directory will be created. Everything, whatever Jenkins jobs, it will be stored in their slave nodes only. Okay, so that is the reason I'm giving OPT. And here, if you want to give the labels main purpose is like if you give the label name, for example, you have a 3 or 4, you have created the slaves. Okay, if you give the same label name, what will happen? This label will act as a group. It means in this same label having total 4 slaves will be available. Okay, it will act as a group. Example, I'm giving Linux. Okay, example, I'm giving Linux -node. Fine. Next here, usage. Usage, we have 2 types. One is use this node as much as possible. If you keep it this one, what will happen? For example, you are running multiple jobs. Okay, this particular node is not running anywhere. Okay, then this particular node will be used and it will be run the particular job in this particular node. Okay, and here one more option, only builds jobs with a label expression. It means like inside the Jenkins job, if you keep it like label expression, like it should be take this particular node only, then it will be run this particular jobs inside this particular slave node. Okay, either you want to keep it as a this node as much as possible, or if you want to restrict that label level, you can restrict. Currently, I'm going to use this node as much as possible. Okay, and coming to the launch method, we have multiple ways to do it. If you observe here, launch agent by connecting to the controller. Okay, if you use this one, it will be generate the command. You have to take that command and you can execute in command line. Okay, next one, if you choose this launch agent by execution of command on the controller, you have to run this, you have to mention here command, you can run it. Okay, third one is using SSH. Okay, using SSH. For example, launch agents via SSH, right? If you select this one, you have to give the particular server and you can provide that particular PPK file, PEM file, okay, private key, and you can declare this non-host or manually provided verification key, okay, manually trusted verification key, or non-verifying verification strategy. But in our case, we are going to choose, instead of setting through SSH, I'm going to choose the launch agent by connecting to the controller. If I select this one, what will happen? It will be generate one command. That particular command we have to run inside this particular slave. As I said, we have 2 slaves we have created, right? I have connected both slaves. Okay, we have to run that particular command inside this particular slave. Okay, fine. I will show you later part. And here, if you want to disable the workday, you can disable it. In case if you want to keep it the working directory for customize, you can keep it here. In case here internal data directory, inside the remote directory, the data will be stored internal data. Internal data will be stored in inside the remote directory. This remote directory will be created in under OPT directory, because we are giving the root directory is OPT, right? That's why. Okay, and you can ignore this fail if workspace is missing. You can ignore that. Here we have two options. One is use WebSocket, or else you can enable the inbound port number. Okay, first I'm choosing this use WebSocket. Later part I will also enabling TCP port number inbound agent inside the configure system. I will show you later. Okay, choose this one, use WebSocket. Fine. Here availability, keep as much as possible, or if you want to up this particular node based on condition, schedule time, you can keep it, and also based on demand. For example, if the job is running the particular node, immediately it will be up that particular node and it will be run the particular job to that particular node. Okay, if you want. Currently I'm using this, keep this agent online as much as possible, means it is always, the node will be always up and running. Okay, next, if you want to define any tools location environment variables, you can do it. Currently we don't require, just save it. Okay, if you save it, it will be create. Just click this one. Now if you see here, the command will be there. We have to run this command in slave node. Example, if you see here, remember one thing here, when you are practicing this IP address should be matched. Okay, in case this IP address different, if you are trying to set up, it won't be work. Okay, might be you'll get doubt how the IP address will be changed. The reason is like we frequently stop and start the instance, right? This particular EC2 instance, it will keep on changing the IP address, right? So that is the reason. It might be, if you are keep on restarting, it might be change the particular IP. If this IP and this IP will be different, if you are trying to connect, it won't be connect. The reason is it will be getting the connection timeout exception. Okay, so first you have to verify whether both IPs are same or not. Okay, next one, I'm going to this one. Before going to run this command in Linux node, slave node, first we have to install the Java. Java is mandatory in slave nodes. Okay, which Java version I'm going to install? I'm going to install Java OpenJDK 11. OpenJDK 11 I'm going to install. Install OpenJDK 11. Okay, run this. Okay, if you see here, we are using Amazon Linux. That's why they have their own command. I'm going to use this command. Okay, fine. Now you can give the Y. It will be installed automatically. Okay, given the Y. Now it is going to install the Java. Okay, Java is mandatory in destination server. Might be you'll get one more dot why you are installing only OpenJDK 11. The reason is Jenkins version. Jenkins, in this particular Jenkins server also we have installed OpenJDK, right? 11. So same version we are installing slave node also. Okay, installation is done. Now what you have to do, using this curl command, it will be download this agent.jar. Sorry, agent.jar file, it will be download. Okay, I'm using this curl command. Currently I'm in pwd. Currently I'm in root directory. I'm using curl command to download this agent.jar file. Enter. Now if you see here ll command, now you are able to see the jar file is downloaded. Okay, jar file is downloaded. Next command is copy this. I'm going to explain now. You can paste here. You will get some idea. Fine. If you observe here, first one java-jar. I'm running this particular jar, and we are setting through JNLP. JNLP URL. This is the IP address and column port number. This is, we have set up that name, right? Which name we have set up that slave name? Linux-slave-node-1, right? Here hyphen means it will come %2d. It will be add extra line. Okay, hyphen is nothing but here %2d. It will be added. Okay, you don't want to confuse this one why it is came added as %2d, because of the we given the hyphen, right? That is the reason. Okay, next one here Jenkins agent at JNLP. This is the secret. This is the secret key, and where we have set up that particular path, we have set up workdir is the particular path is OPT directory, right? That's why it is coming OPT directory. In case if you set up different directory, the particular directory will be there. So now I'm going to run this command. Okay, now I'm going to run this command. Let's see. Enter. Now if you see here, it is going to connect. If you observe here, it is connected. If you come to Jenkins job here, if you come to this particular node, if you refresh, it will show like agent is connected. Agent is connected means setup establishment between Jenkins server and also the particular slave node. It is setup is done. Okay, click the nodes. Now you are able to see this. Now you are able to see total how much space is there. Everything you can able to see whether it is sync or not. You can able to see. Okay, well and good. We have set up that connectivity. Now I'm going to run I want to run the particular job in this particular slave node. How can do? For that, we have already Maven project. Click this one. First, I'm going to run this job. Click. Basically, if you are not defining anything, by default, it will be running master node, right? Master server. Okay. By default, it will be running master server. Okay. By default, it will be running master server only. Built-in node means it will be master server, right? If you remember inside nodes directly, nodes, manage Jenkins, manage node. If you see here, built-in node, right? Built-in node means that is a master. If you observe here, built-in node. Okay. Now we will be run this job in. We will be run this job in specific node. How can do? Open this job. Go to the configure. Here, once you create the labels, now you can see this option. Restrict where this project can be run. Restrict where this project can be run. It means where your project wants to run, whether slave node or whether master node. If you are not defining anything, by default it will be run in master server only. Okay, but I want to run in slave node. How can do? Select this one. Here you have to give the label expression. Okay, here you have to give the label name. What is the label name we have given? Linux slave 1. If you select this one, Linux-slave-node-1, it means this particular job run with the particular job will be run this specific node only. Okay, in case if you select that Linux label, what will happen? In case that particular label it contains more than one nodes. Okay, if it, whatever is available particular node, it will be run. Okay, I'm selecting only this particular slave node. If you observe here, it is only one node is matched. Okay, now I'm going to apply, save it. Now I'm going to run this build. Let's see what will happen. Okay, now if the build is running, if you observe here, it is running in Linux-slave-node1. The reason is we have mentioned inside the Jenkins job, restrict where this project can be run. We have defined what we have defined? We have defined the condition like this project will be run the particular node only. Okay, and one more thing, if you observe here, when you run the job, we are getting the error. The reason is error cloning remote repo origin. The reason is inside this particular slave node, we haven't installed the Git. That is the reason. If you check that here, if Git type on version, it will throw like command not found. I'm going to install the Git. Okay, install Git -y. Okay. Now if you see here, Git is going to install. Now we can run that particular command again. See, earlier I given that cancel, right? If you click the cancel, what will happen? Here, if you go to here, it will show like disconnected. If you observe here, it is went to offline. The reason is the particular given like control C. Okay. Instead of that one, you can give the undo symbol. If you give the undo symbol, what will happen? It will run in background. It will be running background. Just enter. Now if you see here, it is connected. Even if now I'm refreshing this here. If you see here now, the Linux slave node is coming to online. Now what I'm doing here, I'm giving the control C. Even if you give the control C, still the slave node will be up and running. The reason is we have given und. Und is nothing but it will run as a background. Okay, got it right? Fine. Now again I'm going to run it. Earlier we got error related to Git. That's why it throw the error. Okay, if you see here, it is cloning remote repo. Now again I'm going to run it because we already installed that Git right in slave node. Now I'm going to run it here. Let's see. Now we are not getting any error. Now it is going to clone it. Now it is going to clone the particular repository. The particular repository workspace, if you see here, we have mentioned OPT directory. Right? The inside the OPT directory, we have it was created workspace. Inside the workspace, it is created the particular project. Okay. And one more thing, might be get doubt for this Maven also we haven't installed destination, right? Yes, it is not installed also. Now it will be installed. The reason is inside the global tool configuration, we have mentioned, right? Maven needs to be installed automatically. That is the reason in destination server it will be installed. Now what I'm doing here, currently I'm in Linux slave node 1. Okay, here I'm going to OPT directory. Okay, if you see here you can see all the things. If you see here remoting we mentioned right there. It will internal data will be stored, right? Next one, workspace. Inside the workspace, it will be stored. It will be create the particular project name. What is the project name? Maven project, right? Maven project. It is created inside the workspace. Okay. Come back here. And one more thing, if you observe here we have a tools directory. What is the tools directory? It is downloading Maven, right? You can able to see here. Maven plugin information inside the tools directory. Why it is came? We have selected inside the global tool configuration automatically install, right? When you run the job inside in this particular slave node, we don't have any job, right? Sorry, we don't have any Maven. That is the reason it is automatically install the Maven, okay, using that option. I hope understand, right? This is the process of installing, configuring that particular Linux. I hope understand, right? Any questions? No, right? The main intention of setting the slave node, instead of running all the jobs in master, if you run slave nodes, okay, it will be reduce the burden that particular master node. Okay, and one more thing, when we setting the slave node, we have two options, right? One is WebSocket, second one is enabling the port number, right? First of all, we saw that enabling the WebSocket. Now I'm going to create one more node. The particular node I'm going to set up with TCP inbound agent port number enable. Okay, new node I'm giving here Linux slave node -2. Okay, I have created Linux slave node -2, just permanent agent, or if you want to copy existing configuration, you can copy also. I'm going to permanent agent, click create. Here I'm giving the same name. Okay, number of executors I'm keeping only one, and also remote root directory is OPT. Here, don't confuse. Remote root directory is nothing but where your jobs needs to be stored, that workspace, everything. Okay, we are giving root directory. It means OPT directory. Okay, label name. What I'm giving here. Earlier we give that Linux slave, right? Same thing here. Also I'm giving Linux slave. It means Linux. Okay, Linux slave. It means this earlier node and this node, it will be under this label only. It means inside this particular label is nothing but it will act as a group. Inside the group, we have two slaves. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, you can select this usage, use this node as much as possible. Okay, launch agent by connecting it to that same only. And here, instead of selecting this WebSocket, we can enable the TCP port number for inbound agents. Okay. For that one, what you have to do, go to the manage Jenkins. Okay, go to the manage Jenkins. Here, go to the configure global security. Configure global security. Inside this configure global security, we have option agents. Inside the agent, we have two options. One is fixed one. You have to set up the port number, fixed port number, or else we can keep it the random number. But we will set up the fixed one. Here I'm giving the 50,000. Okay, this TCP inbound agent I'm setting the 50,000. You can keep it any number, no issues. But I'm keeping 50,000. Remember here TCP is nothing but transmission control protocol. That is the port number. We are enabling the 50,000. Okay. Here it is, if you see here, WebSocket mode is selected or TCP port number. Okay. Earlier we saw that WebSocket, right? Now I'm going to showcasing here TCP port for inbound agent. Okay. Now I have enabled here 50. I have declared the 50,000. What I'm doing here, I'm now save it. Okay. Select the second one. Now, if you see here, channel agent port is disabled and agent cannot be directed. Why? Sorry, I haven't saved it. That is the reason it is throwing the error. Okay, save this file. Okay, now I'm going to, yeah, if you see here, now it is came. Okay, again, I'm telling this IP should be matched. Okay, fine. Now I have created another server. The server name is Linux slave node 2. Okay, this is the Linux server. Okay, now here first we have to install the Java. Right? Java I'm going to install. Run this Java. Fine. Now once Java, okay, we are using Amazon Linux. They are having their own command. That's why we have to use that command only. Now it is going to install. Once installation done, what you have to do? We have to run this curl command to download the agent.jar file. Okay. I'm going to download this file. Now it is going to install. It may take a little bit time to install it. Okay. Fine. Now Java install. I'm going to check whether it's Java install or not. Java version. Okay. Version. If you see here, sorry. Okay, if you see here, Java is installed. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to copy this one. Curl command. I'm going to download here. Okay. Download. Now if you see here LL command, now we are able to see the agent.jar file. Okay. Now second command is we have to use this command to run that particular. This command we need to run inside the slave node 2 server. Okay. Here if you observe here java-jar, I'm running this jar file using this JNLP URL. URL will be IP address colon IP address colon port number and computer. This Linux here, if you observe here, percentage 2D it is adding. The reason is we have given hyphen, right? Instead of hyphen, it is adding the percentage 2D. Okay, don't want to confuse this one. Okay, then Jenkins agent or JLP, here secret file it is generated, and we set up like root directory is OPT, right? This is the OPT directory. Okay, now I'm copying this one. We already installed same location. You have to run this command. Okay, run this. What will happen? Let's say now if it is going to connect the JNLP connect. Okay, let's see what will happen. Now if it is throwing the error, the reason is if you observe here, the port number, provide port number 50 is not reachable. The reason is we haven't enabled this port number inside the security group. That is the reason we got the 50,000 not reachable. Okay, what you have to do, go to the here, select the particular Jenkins server, go to the security group. Okay, now here you have to enable the 50,000 inbound rules, edit inbound rule, and here you have to add the 50,000 port number. Okay, 50,000 port number anywhere, and I'm adding here. Now again you can run this command. Okay, again you can run this command. If you see here, it is connected. It is connected. The reason is we have enabled the 50,000 port number. Okay, now we can come here and you refresh this page. Now it will show like agent is connected. Agent is connected. Now same process. If you want to run the job in slave node 2, what you have to do? Come down, go to the job. Okay, and go to the Maven project and go to the configure. Inside the configure, restrict where this project can be run, right? Instead of 1, you can give the 2. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, here you can see Linux slave node 2. Okay, you can give. Instead of giving Linux 2, you can also give the label name. What is the label name? The label name is node slave and node For example, if I give the node slave, what will happen? Okay, inside this particular slave, how many nodes will be there? You can able to see here. In this particular label, if we have more than 1, what will happen? It will be displayed 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, if I run the job, what will happen? In this particular nodes, currently we have only 1. In case if we have 3 or 4, whatever is available as slave node, this particular job will be run the particular slave node. If you use the label name. Okay, same apply save. Earlier, I thought we given that label name both are same, but label name we have given different. Linux slave and if you see here, now it is running in Linux slave node 2. That label name is Linux slave. Okay, right? Now we are getting the error. The reason is Git is not installed. If you install the Git, it will be run. What I'm doing here, I'm canceling. If I cancel here, that particular JNLP connection will be lost. Correct? What we can do? What we can do that? We are running that command, right? That command we can give the last and symbol. If you give the and symbol, what will happen? It will be run as a background. Okay, I'm giving the under. If you see here, and we have given. Okay, then enter. Now it will be run in background. It won't be, even though if I give the control C, it won't be fail. Okay, now I'm going to run this. Again, I'm going to run the Maven project. Build now. See, the label name give the same for multiple labels, multiple slave nodes. Okay, you can able to as a you can keep it as a group. Okay, build now. Currently, we have two different labels having two different slave nodes. Okay, and if you see here, I'm running 5 and also 5th, 6th one also I'm trying to run, but still it is pending state. The reason is this 5th build is complete only, 7th will be start. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I'm refreshing, still is going on. Let's see what is going on here. Yeah, it is going to run. Okay, now what I'm doing here in between, I'm going to stop it. Okay, cancel it. Yeah, if you see this gray color, remember, if you see the gray color, it means someone is aborted. If you see here in it is also showing aborted. Click this one, come down, top, down. See, gray color will see when someone is aborted. Example, I have aborted, right? Aborted means I have stopped it in between. Before completing that particular job, I have aborted the step. Okay, let me see. If you see here, it is finished aborted. Aborted means build was aborted. I have aborted. Who has aborted also, it will be displayed. Got it, right? As I said, like earlier, we have total one is red color. Red color means it will be failing. If you see the green color, it means like build is success. If you see the gray color, it will be aborted. Aborted means in between the build was stopped. If you see the yellow color, it means it is unstable. Yellow color we won't see much, but if you see the yellow color, it means we can consider as it is unstable. If the job is unstable, then only the color will become. Okay, I hope understand it. How we can set up the slave nodes, both Linux using the WebSocket, also enabling the TCP inbound port number. Okay, this is a very important question in interview level. How can set up the slave nodes? You have to tell the step-by-step process. Example, they will ask the question like, hey, I have a job. I want to run the particular job in particular slave node. Where do we configure that condition? Okay, first we have to set up the slave node. Then inside the Jenkins job, we have an option restrict where this project can be run. Inside the particular project, we have to define the condition. We have to define the particular label name or the particular slave node. Then when you run the job, it will be run the particular slave node only. Okay, are you right? If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.